Mark Donica here at RTX 2018 with Kyung from the RWBY Amity Arena team. I got a chance to play it last week. For those of you who aren't familiar, for the folks at home who aren't as familiar, what's the basic rundown of RWBY Amity Arena?
So the core game of RWBY Amity Arena is a real-time strategy tower defense-ish game. It's mainly live PvP. So that's the core of the game. So I know that might not be for everyone, but that's the core of the game. And when the game is launched, you'll be matched up against a live person, and you'll be going head-to-head against another RWBY fan somewhere in Remnant.
Really, a quick personal question. During the beta last weekend, was any of the staff or crew a part of the beta as well, or was it all fans?
So, actually, that's an interesting question.
Well, I have a very specific question related to that.
Okay, so yes, part of our staff was part of it, definitely. We were hiding everywhere, trying to fight players and trying to see how things go. But actually, Rooster Teeth put a blast out for the entire company.
Really?
And so we actually don't know how many Rooster Teeth staff were playing. You might have run into Barbara or Lindsay without knowing. So
one of my first matches was against somebody simply with the name Gray. So I don't know if it was just somebody being like, my name's Gray, or if it was Gray. So now that you've illuminated that, I'm freaking out a little bit because I beat him. But aside from the game is super fun. The art style is reminiscent of a lot of the earlier stuff. We're getting some character design glimpses of future as well. What's the scope? Because we've gotten I'll say side characters, like really small, barely featured folks. How big is this cast going to be?
Okay, so I can actually easily reveal that we want to hit every character eventually. And I know the roster is expanding, in the show, so we have a tough road ahead of us. But for the most part, we wanted to give, I guess, some extra screen time to characters that didn't get as much in the show.
Okay.
And actually, Rooster Teeth is pretty happy about that because it's really hard to shoehorn in some characters from the Vital Festival in a later episode when they have no place being there. Yeah. But in our game, we're following the chronology of the series, but kind of a little bit behind. So right now we're capped off near mid-season 3 or volume 3, and so we'll have most of the characters from there and before that. But moving forward, the game's chronology will move forward as well. As the clock turns, you'll see more and more Volume 4 characters, 5, and more different locations and such. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And with moving forward, and already in the version of the game that I've played right now, and that is out playable on the floor, there's multiple versions of some of our main characters. Are you going to be limiting how? I mean, I know it'll be you're aiming for every character, but do you have a limit on how many people are going to get variants?
Well, that's also a really good question. I think for that one, it will have to come down to the mechanics of the actual game. So if there is a character that we have to make for the sake of, changing the meta of the game or adding more to it, then we will probably do such a thing. That's why you see Nolan in the game, which is a lot of people are like, Nolan, really? But honestly, his close-range cattle prodding is something that none of the other characters can do, so that's why he's in the game, and to a certain degree, yeah.
Yeah, at first I was like, okay, cool, cattle prod, whatever, but as getting closer to stage 2 and further up, it was so annoying, and the people that could make him work in the various setups were just evil. The best part of the word. You mentioned that the core is going to be multiplayer, and during the beta there were sort of grayed off areas that implied some version of single player. Can you talk about that at all?
So single player, maybe not single player, but we are thinking about designing a PvE mode or something like that, but I'll just say right now clearly that at the moment, for the near future, we are going to keep it a PvP game. Such features take a very long time to develop, and also the writing and stuff of the game, the scenario, or even the storyline that we'd have to make, it has to go through Rooster Teeth and Carrie, and I work together with them a lot, and the Rooster Teeth branding team, and that kind of stuff does take a little bit of time because they're also swamped at Volume 6, as people may think and know. So yeah, the PvE features a little later. Let's stay tuned for that. Yeah.
What's it been like working with the Rooster Teeth animation department?
First of all, there's such great people to work with. We've worked with some other partners before on other IPs our company has, and among all of them, they're the most like cordial and professional. And not to mention their love for their product. Oh, that was actually very different from the other teams. I felt like, you know, some other people we've worked with, maybe they care more about the marketability of it, or just making sure the brand is like perfectly safe. But with Rooster Teeth, you know, they allow RWBY to be expanded by some of us, maybe like Rim Eclipse, you'll see that. And they're very much open to, I guess, new twists and turns in the story. And so it's been a lot of fun and very free for a creative thing like a game. And it's been great working with them.
Speaking of free, is there going to be a price tag attached to this game, or will it be free to download?
Okay, so it is a mobile game for Android and iOS, and it's free. And therefore it comes with a lot of the things that free-to-play games come with. I will not mince my words about that. However, since it's a question we get a lot, I'll just say that we wanted players to play our game for an extended period of time, and over time grow stronger little by little. And so that's the main way we want everybody to play. Just play together and log in every day, play with your friends on the weekend on the academies. Because of the academy system, you'll essentially make your own academy, invite your friends, and together you're going to, I guess, compete together, raise your academy's level and rankings by growing stronger as a group.
Okay, because I had assumed that it was just something that was going to be directly related to the country, or like those different differentiations. But this is sort of like a guild-ish system.
Right, it's a guildish system, and when we came up with the feature, we talked to Rooster Teeth about it a lot, because essentially we're allowing players to create an academy in the world of Remnant, because I'm not sure how familiar you are with the whole theme of the game, but it's that this game exists within the world of Remnant. Therefore, you can kind of imagine that RWBY would be playing this game on her scroll in the world of Remnant. That's the whole spin.
It was very immersive first loading up the game and seeing the scroll open up and be like, oh, that alone without saying it made it very clear that this is like, oh, we're in the world. This is a thing. So like the amazing job on that. For a beta, I think the game is in an amazing place right now, and as a fan of that side character, this side character, hearing every character is going to be, they're all here, every character is joining. Never mind, don't use that tagline. I think somebody else used it recently. But do you have a release window yet?
For the actual game,
yes.
Right? The official statement is in a few months before 2018 is over.
Okay.
Which isn't actually that long. Yeah, we only have like maybe 4 months left, so hopefully we'll hit the App Store shelves soon.
And is there anything else you want to say to the folks who haven't had a chance to play this yet?
I guess I'll just address the camera for that one then. Thank you guys so much for your interest in our game, and when it comes out, we'll try to make everybody know, especially if you're a RWBY fan. And we want our game to be a game that all RWBY fans will have on their phone no matter where they go. And that's the whole point. We want you to carry this game about RWBY with you no matter where you are. So
thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much. I'm really excited for RWBY Amity Arena. Make sure to pick it up. Sign up for the beta as soon as it becomes available, because it's fun as hell. We're still going to be at RTX, so don't you go anywhere.